Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have an issue already. We have an issue already with Dom not being in the StreamYard.
You're a menace to society.
Yeah, a complete menace.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, then what have you been doing in there? You set up the queue for the stars. What are you doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now Dom is finally in the StreamYard.
Welcome, Dominic Stern.
Yes, welcome, Dom. So, first thing I want to get into, but first I have to introduce us. I'm stupid. I'm Ryan Blake alongside Parker, Pat, and Dom. So, Pat, we're going to lead off with you.
Mm-hmm.
You are crippled and you are here.
Yes.
He's crippled. Wow. I mean,
He is.
I saw him run into the elevator tonight.
I did. Did give me an ouchie, but you know.
Did give him an ouchie.
There
Okay.
you go. You heard it
So,
here first.
Pat,
Pre-show.
For the second time this year, you have fallen off your bird scooter.
Yes. Hello,
Please
viewers.
tell us what happened the first time, and then give us a synopsis of what happened this past time.
So I couldn't really tell you what happened the first time because I went unconscious for about 5 seconds. Parker Dunn could probably tell you.
Yeah.
The first time was pretty brutal. I hit my head first on the pavement before anything else, and I hit the same knee that I hit this time around. The first time around, I went to urgent care. There was blood everywhere. I mean, quite literally more blood than I've ever seen in my life. And it was hell. But the second time around, I learned how to fall better. I mean, I'm still not great at it, but I did it better. I fell. I kind of like penguin dived. Yeah, so I kind of like slid and like I went hands first, and unfortunately, the first thing to hit the pavement was my knee and my hand. So this hand is wrapped up. That's just a soft wrap. It's a little cut up. I'm not going to show you, but then okay, let's show you my knees. Okay, so this is my
Oh
knee.
Lord, here we go.
For the viewers, this is my normal knee. There's nothing wrong with this knee.
This is
First
great
of all,
radio.
I showed, yeah, right. I mean, all of our viewers are on StreamYard. I
much.
showed I showed that to one of our friends. Like, this is my normal knee, and they're like, oh, and I was like, wait, no, that's not the bad knee. And then this is
It says a lot.
right, right, exactly. And then this is my other knee, right here.
Oh,
So bad.
I should have given you a gore warning right there, but that was
it is disgusting.
Well, the best was you sent me the picture, but I didn't realize that was because you drew around your knee, and I'm like, what is, like, how did that?
Yeah.
I'm like, how did that happen? Like, what? And I mean, granted, I've never seen a dislocated knee before, so I was like, what? And then you're like, oh no, I drew on this to show the swelling, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because I was actually super concerned. I already was.
We were having a little get together with our friends, and I had to miss the first 3 hours of it as I was in the emergency room. And first of all, let me go on my little tangent here.
Here we go.
Oh, let's go.
Hospitals in the United States of America
They're awful.
are the biggest scam on planet Earth.
Oh,
My
what happened?
my private healthcare insurance, it's a private company, as
Okay.
most healthcare, unless you have Medicare,
Okay, yeah.
was there was an issue processing it. So until I call them and get that resolved, I'm paying for this out of pocket. Which
Ooh.
we're gonna get it resolved. I'm not gonna have to pay for it out of pocket. However, I went in there and all they did was say, yeah, nothing's broken. Does it hurt? Yes, it hurts.
A lot.
Right, like a lot. That's why I'm in the emergency room on a Friday night or Saturday night. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll give you, some painkillers, some anti-inflammatories. And then they gave me those, and then they said, okay, you can leave now.
Seriously,
That's it.
what they
That's
said.
all it was. And then they gave me
No
like,
way.
they gave me like, at least I know my blood pressure's good.
Hey, there we go.
I learned that. But I sat there, I got x-rays, nothing was broken. I mean, the peace of mind was nice, but also like I could have slept it off and gone to urgent care in the morning.
Yeah.
In that hospital visit, it's going to cost me so much. My favorite thing is we had our friend Madison was there. She goes, do you want me to call you an ambulance? And I said, Madison. I said, Madison, I would rather
That would have been so funny.
I would rather drop dead on the ground and be dead for over 48 hours before you
Unnecessarily call an ambulance.
Right. Exactly. Even if it was necessary, like I could come in with a hole through my stomach that you can see clean through to the other side,
Jeez,
and I'm gonna
God.
ask somebody to drive me to the hospital. You know why? Because it's the principle. It's the principle of not letting.
Here's the thing.
You feel better about yourself if you can have someone like who's not going to charge you like $600.
600. Oh my God, it would have been thousands.
No, it wouldn't have been thousands.
Like 1,000.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys, can I tell my story of
Wait, no,
the time that I got hurt or no?
hold on.
I mean,
Yes.
we'll discuss that
Yes.
later.
Well, Pat, you should have done what I did.
By compare, never mind.
What you did? I mean, I
What I did
can
was-
take a wild
remember-
guess at what you did when you hurt your knee.
No, hold on. No, not that. When I got in the car right before I went home, I just waited till the next day to go to urgent care and get x-rays and stuff.
It's just build it. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
On average, since 2010 in the United States, ambulance rides cost $1,200.
Right, but how far away is the ER here that you went to?
The one I went to was in Phoenix, actually, but
Yeah,
there is
that
a
would've-
closer one. I could have gone to St. Luke's.
So that I mean, yeah, that could have been a hefty.
Yeah.
So, thanks Ryan for your brave story.
Thank you, Dom. Let's get into how you hurt yourself.
Yeah, so this was my fifth. I mean, might as well.
Parker, we'll get into your wrist next.
Oh, geez.
If you want, of course. We're not gonna.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will. Who cares?
This was my fifth high school baseball practice in the fall, and we were practicing bunting, and I prided myself
Oh,
on my
no.
bunting, which is never a good thing that you pride yourself
Oh,
on your ability
no.
to bunt, but I did, and I was in the last group to bunt, and I was like, all right, I'm the last one to come up in our group, and like everyone's like doing really bad bunts. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to show these guys up, and they're like showing us the technique we want. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. It's easy. First pitch, bunted it straight into my eye, and
Oh, so
I was-
you pulled a Scherzer.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke, and then
You pulled a Scherzer.
sure enough.
Yeah, I was about to as well, but I was like, I was really hoping he did.
it's straight into my eye, and like I go down like on a knee, and I'm like, oh, coach is like, oh, come on, like get up, and I'm like, no, I just bunted the ball straight into my eye, like I can barely see, and so then like I walked it off, I went and sat on the bench, and I'm like, all right, like it hurts, but like I'll be fine, and then I wasn't gonna do anything for us practice. Coach was like, oh, you want to go feed the machine? I'm like, sure, why not? He used me bunting the ball into my eye to not have to do anything. So I'm feeding the machine, and I'm just like, stuff's coming out of my nose. I'm just going, like putting it on my long sleeve because why not? And then I look, and I'm like, oh, my nose is bleeding. My eye was like bleeding, and it was coming out of my nose. And so then they're like, all right, go see the trainer. I went to go see the trainer. I passed like all the tests, like the vision tests. He's like, he's like, out of caution, I'm going to call an ambulance. I'm like, you don't have to do
What?
that. I'm like,
No way.
you just don't have to do that. I'm like, my mom is in the parking lot. I'm like, one, I don't need to go to the hospital because I'm fine. Two, you do not need to call an ambulance. And he's
Oh, I
like,
can imagine your mom in this situation.
and he's like, oh, I'm going to call the ambulance. And
Oh
then,
my
I mean, because I
Brother, who does this guy? I would have sued the pants off of this
you
guy.
can't
You would have sued him?
sue him.
There's
I
no
would've sued him.
basis.
There is. Did you sign a liability waiver?
No.
You could have sued this guy for millions.
Anyways,
Wow.
so then I go to the ambulance comes. I mean, there's a fire station like literally down the street. So the ambulance is there. My mom comes down. She's like, why is there an ambulance here? I'm like, oh, I bunted the ball in my eye. I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. I don't know why. And then she asked the fire department, where are you taking him? Rady Children's Hospital. My mother is the vice president of the Rady Children's Hospital auxiliary. Does a lot of stuff there. So she
Okay.
beats the ambulance to the hospital that now my family has to pay several $100s for. And then I get there and I'm sitting in the hospital for like hours. And I'm like, Mom, why am I in this room for 2 hours? And she's like, well, they're treating the other people. And I'm like, what is going on? So it sucks.
Yeah, I sat in 3 different waiting rooms over a total of 3 hours for them to tell me that I was fine and to go home and sleep it off.
They told you to go home and sleep it off?
Yeah,
I mean,
were
they give
like-
you painkillers.
they were-
but-
yeah, they did. They gave me painkillers, and they were like, "You could have gone home and just like, you could have waited till tomorrow." Because I asked him that. I was like, "Be honest with me, doc." I was like, "Did I have to come in tonight?" He was like, "No." He's like, "You're fine." So the doctor was dreamy though. He was like a Grey's Anatomy doctor.
Oh,
He was
wow.
a Patrick Dempsey mid Grey's Anatomy run. He was a good looking guy. He was touching my leg. I was feeling things inside.
Man.
I'm not
Is he
gay,
now
but
on
if
your
it
list?
was, I'd be okay for the doctor.
I'm not gay, but I go gay for that doctor.
So he's now on your list along with Brady, John Mayer,
Bradley
And
Cooper from
Bradley
Star
Cooper.
Born.
John Stamos is also somewhere on that list.
John Stamos.
Yeah. This doctor, he was a good looking man. Silver Fox, if you will.
The list is growing and growing. Now, Parker, on to you.
So
The wrist.
I have the wrist one. And I have a couple now because that reminded me. There was one where it wasn't involving me, but a kid that was the grade below me in middle school, like at recess, slipped and broke his hand, and they literally
Okay.
called an ambulance for a broken hand.
No!
So brutal.
Unless my life is on the line.
Well, that's what they're for. They're for emergencies when people like are in critical condition and need to be rushed to the hospital. Like that's
Not
why.
for a hurt eye and a broken
That's
wrist.
why like ambulances, like or like the helicopters they use are like you have to use it for the most like
Severe.
severe
Yeah.
situation. 'cause
An
there's
average
people
life flight, like a helicopter ride, is $21,000
Oh.
crazy. And like look
after
it's-
insurance. That's
Yeah,
after insurance.
even
But
say-
after
if it's,
insurance-
if it's worth it, right?
Yeah, it's worth every penny. But
Yeah.
you can't be calling an ambulance for a broken arm
Mhm.
because, like, I mean, I guess on the topic of broken arms, like, I broke my wrist, which was the same wrist that I messed up. But like, you would never have caught me telling my dad at basketball practice, "We need to go to the hospital." Like, I'll figure it out another day. I'll sleep it off.
It's a later problem.
Yeah, like
That's what I'm
it's-
saying.
It's like it hurt like crazy, but like
I'm gonna give you two scenarios. Both are bi-wheeled vehicular related.
Oh no.
I
Pat, you already have a misdemeanor from behind the wheel.
no. I fell off my bird scooter, right? It really hurt. I was in a lot of pain. Would I ever in a billion years call an ambulance for that scenario?
No.
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 My grandfather, who was 78 years old, got into a motorcycle accident my junior year of high school, broke 63 bones,
Oh my
and was
God.
life flighted to a hospital. Now that makes sense.
Yes.
You know,
that's
like that.
why you have those situations.
Right. That is why those exist. It is not for jerks like me who fall off of a bird scooter, 90% of which in the city of Tempe are hammered drunk. I was trying to like convince every nurse, they're like, "Have you been drinking tonight?" I was like, "No, I swear to God, I was dead sober when I did it."
yeah.
Which makes it even more
Was I
pathetic.
planning on being that way this night?
Right. Yes, exactly. Like that's
We'll
yeah.
never know.
And then there was another one, and Dom's story reminded me of it too because it involved like sports and like for me it was for football. It was freshman year, and this was when the dreams of being QB1 were still hot and ready to come out the oven.
So that title went to Ryan Blank on the Banner Brothers.
So
Yes, sir.
I
you
was
led us straight to the ground, Ryan.
I will still defend to this day that
No, I
I
had no O-line.
Sorry, hold on. Ryan burned that franchise to the
No,
ground.
no, if we had a competent O-line, we probably could have won a couple
A
of
competent O-line.
Yeah.
Yeah, a competent O-line doesn't matter in flag football.
It
There's
does
no,
when
It
you have
doesn't.
a
It doesn't that league.
no, you just need a quarterback who can scramble. And we had over easy in the back.
Or throw.
We didn't have scramble. We had over easy.
or throw, or just throw in general.
Yeah,
Just-
Ryan had some good throws. I'll give you that.
Oh,
gotta get the
come
ball
on!
quick.
Don't butter his balls
Oh,
like that.
shut up,
He had
Dom.
a few.
So
In case you guys couldn't tell, the NFL season ended.
yeah, we're going off on our.
Well, no, we're also an NBA show.
I'm
so-
sorry. Parker has to finish his story.
Yeah, it's super quick. It's
Yeah,
not,
It
Or
was,
it's not like,
it was a tangent that made sense.
it's not like a big deal because like no like crazy injury came out of it, but it was trying out for quarterback. I'll still stand by it. Our starting quarterback was the only thing that held us back. I think if they would have just given me time, I
Been
could have
there.
done better. But besides the point though, so we were taking snaps under center. I had never played quarterback before. I literally just got to high school and was like, let's see how this goes because like
Okay.
we were having fun with it, right?
Go off, King.
And oh my gosh, I was taking snaps from a friend of mine who never plays center. He's never under center. He's usually a guard and a D end. And for some reason, they were treating me like the fourth string, third string guy. So of course that's who I got to work with to get some reps in. And he just absolutely obliterated my finger. This one right here, under center, and just it literally. I feel like if I could have seen a video, it snapped all the way back. It was
Oh,
so puffy.
So it was a Derek Carr situation.
Oh yeah, no, literally, it was a Derek
Okay.
Carr
Well,
situation.
I stand by like my hands were like these are just like superficial cuts on my hands. Like you can kind of see one there. Like they're not bad. They're superficial cuts. They
They
were
were
worse than the knee. The
Literally, yeah, that the finger
the
thing.
hand
like,
hand injuries are the worst because they're just so sensitive.
Yeah, and like because with basketball, like playing basketball for most of my life, the ball jams your finger all the time, and it's like momentarily like the worst pain ever. It's like I guess it's comparable to like a stinger in football. Like it feels like you like destroyed some part of your body, and like you need medical attention, but then you don't. You just gotta give it some time. Or like when the wind gets knocked out of you. And that was the case with my finger. And my coach just said, it's fine, try popping in and out. I'm like, Coach, don't you think I tried that already? And then he's making me take snaps and like keep throwing the ball, and like it was just duck after duck because I couldn't grip the football at all. And then the next day at practice, it was even worse, and he just didn't care.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Anyways, the American healthcare system is a sham. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the hospital that I went to, it's a children's hospital, and they're very gracious in the fact that they don't charge people who can't afford to pay.
Mhm.
But my mom was telling me this as I like have an eye that I can like barely see out of, and I'm like, Mom, why do they get the service before I do?
Right.
They're just gonna do it for free, and shouldn't they accept me? You know, I've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was the other worst part.
It's
Is I was
cool
like,
dumb start being selfish.
I mean, like, obviously,
Yeah, of course, Ryan.
I'm the jerk who comes in who fell off the bird. So they're like, all right, back of the line.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Get back to the line.
Yeah, just get to the back of the line, you know, wait, and like it's the middle of Phoenix. It's an emergency room on Roosevelt, and not the downtown part of Roosevelt. So there's these guys
What are you
running in
saying
saying
about that?
there's guys running in saying that they're being chased by the devil.
Oh yeah,
And
no.
they say the devil's chasing you. He goes, yeah, well, the devil and my drug dealers. You know,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, my knee hurts. I just I'm like, who are they gonna treat first here? You know? The guy who's literally going into police custody after this, or me. So yeah.
Chased by the devil and my
Yep.
drug dealer.
Him, my drug dealer.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. I don't know if I just broke some Hippocratic oath thing by sharing that man's details, but
You didn't say first and last name, so I
That's
think we're
true.
good.
I don't think you have one. Yeah.
Not legally, of course.
Oh, my
Right.
Lord. All right, now let's get back on topic to the show.
Well, I mean, who said we were on topic?
Yeah, that was the topic.
Sports stuff. Sports and news.
Sports topics. What that?
The first topic of the show today was my injury.
Are
We
you
talked
saying,
about it.
are you
We talked
saying
about
that
it.
Pat flying off his bird on Apache Boulevard in Tempe is not
Well,
sports topic?
let me mention it
Well,
was
first
not
off, this
Apache
has happened
Boulevard.
multiple times.
Oh, it's not Apache?
No, I was all the way to the middle parking lot. I was about one car away from my own.
Oh,
Oh
I
no!
went right over a pothole and I slid all the way to my car.
oh nice. You got
So
there.
it got me where I needed to be.
Pat, please explain to our viewers how long of a walk it is from Park Place Tempe to the Villas.
Today it took me about 7 minutes.
How did it take you 7 minutes?
Well,
Did
he
you have
has
to
a
go-
torn ACL.
Right. You also have to go down Apache and then into the thing, and then I'm parked all the way on the Spence side. So I basically have to walk up and down the block 3 times.
Oh, true. That's fair.
Because they don't give me a key to get in because I'm not a resident.
Yeah, Pat, I'm curious.
Well, it's done the park.
When will you find out if you tore your ACL?
Whenever I get around to it. I'm a busy guy.
Well,
I mean, in theory, they said make an appointment tomorrow, like because they're closed today because it's President's Day.
yeah.
So I should call tomorrow, and see what they have. But I'm away all weekend, so then we'll see what happens.
Well, in the words of our friend Jack Loader, it would be the least consequential torn ACL of all time.
right.
So
Yes.
you're really in no rush to like
Yeah.
book an appointment.
Exactly. However, softball season is right around
Well,
the corner.
well, according to sources, there is someone who is eager to take your spot if you are not able to.
I'm not leaving.
There's just been no consulting.
I'm not fucking leaving.
And that person is Amanda Valle, Jack Johnson's girlfriend, who played D1 softball.
I'm not going to.
Zero.
Quit asking.
Zero
If
consultation.
I tear my ACL, I'm not telling you guys. If it is torn, my ACL is fine. I'm not telling you. And all season, there's gonna be like, can somebody else pinch run for me?
No.
I
Pat,
got you.
We'll say he has a hurt knee. And I mean, Pat, if we're being honest, like the torn ACL prevents people from cutting
Mhm.
and jumping and like, really accelerating.
I'm gonna catch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're the catcher and you're not going for many extra base hits. You're not rounding the
Best
bases.
position to
Right.
tear your ACL out.
You are running
Considering,
straight through first
stand up.
base.
That's what I'm saying. I will be fine on a torn ACL on the softball team. That's all I'm
okay, we
saying.
trust you.
And
But clearly you don't. Every time I brought up this injury since it's happened,
Pat
This
can
was
win,
not my idea. It was Bobby's idea.
Pat can win the Slat Comeback Player of the Year award.
yeah, right. Did you know I walked in to Bobby's the other night after the emergency room. Ryan looked at me and goes, "How you doing, man?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling, like it hurt."
Don't try to put me in a bad light.
And
No,
then
don't
Ryan
start.
goes, we got somebody to replace you on the softball team. Come on! I'm not that mad. I'm not. I had some great
Okay,
plays at the end of the
Okay,
season.
let me tell you something. First off, was not my idea. Second off, here's how Bobby described it: a D1 softball player.
Hey.
Pat.
Hey, no, but
You're gonna put her
do
at
you,
catcher?
do you think Amanda is gonna butter up the umpires like Pat does, or
Yeah.
whoever the replacement is?
No.
The jury is still out.
That was if I was the coach. Of course, I rather have Adam because he is fun to be around the field with his shirt unbuttoned. So
Yeah.
I rather have him.
I bring a lot to the team.
Him doing his little twirl after every swing makes me laugh.
Yeah, you can't really measure Pat's
his value.
his value
Yeah.
to the team on
His
the stat
impact
sheet
is greater.
than his
off
WAR.
the stat
Right,
sheet.
right. It's like Ha-Sung Kim. You know, his WAR isn't as good as he actually is, and Eric Hosmer's WAR is better than he actually is.
Talking about numbers now.
I'm putting into perspective. I'm complimenting you, Pat.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No, that's the thing is I probably drew more walks than anybody else on our team last
Well, it's
year.
because you would sometimes just go up to the plate and say, "I'm not swinging."
Right.
Yeah, Pat, you did that multiple times.
It could be effective. I mean, dude, some of these pitchers are losers.
Yeah, I
not
mean,
not
we
everyone can be as
walked
good
off
as.
on like 5 straight walks.
Yeah, that for our first playoff win was because we absolutely enraged those frat guys.
You know what?
They,
Four strikes.
they should have thrown
Yeah.
strikes.
Four strikes.
You know why they didn't do that game? Because I threw strikes.
Yeah, no.
Pat rattled him.
Yeah, no.
Or,
those
yeah,
guys are
exactly.
trash.
I mean, I tossed strikes if we're gonna be technical here. You know,
Yeah.
the little. No, that was pre-backspin.
You know, and they were getting flustered. They like brought in different guys to come in, and they still couldn't do it.
They
They
brought
had
in
like
six
3
pitchers,
guys.
yeah,
3
right.
guys
Yeah.
pitching.
Well, because the best was the second baseman was like, "Come on, man, throw strikes!" Like, you know, oh yeah,
Mhm.
thanks, man, real riveting advice.
Right.
And then he's like, I'll come and do it. And he walked the next 3 batters, and, he was
Yeah.
like, and then the guy who he replaced, like, "No, you suck. Like, I'm gonna come back in."
And then
And then-
Dylan Rush
and then
walked
Dylan-
it off.
Yeah.
Well, because then they had to come in because they had to make
Yeah.
the play at home, and Dylan just put it over their heads. And that was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the one time.
And then Colin blew his chance.
Colin blew his chance.
Because Colin had a chance to walk it off. And then had Dylan come out.
Classic Colin.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Colin Ring.
Not clutch.
Colin
clutch.
Ring angle.
He's changed.
Did you just say Colin Ring angle?
I did, yes.
I wonder who's walking through Taylor Mall right now.
Hello, Taylor Mall.
My Lord. All right, let's get into professional sports topics. And let's start off with the NBA because there's really nothing for the NFL. The All-Star game happened last night. But before we get into that, there are a couple trades from trade deadline that I want to talk about. First one being the one
Oh
between
my
the
God, you
Sixers.
overstimulated him.
So how about them trades?
Yeah, come on. Come
I will make sure the ACL is torn.
on.
Yeah, I know you will.
That'll be a fun check for you.
Yeah.
Bill would be the word.
He already has a few. He can just cover the next one. But Sixers Nets, Harden, Simmons, those are the two key
Don't forget
pieces in
Seth,
this.
baby.
Well-
Honestly, I think that's a better player
Well,
to get
okay.
than Ben Simmons
Let's get-
personally.
Okay, so the Nets got Seth Curry, they got Ben Simmons, they got Andre
A
Drummond,
whole bunch of picks involved,
And then some
Millsap
picks.
got sent over too.
and then Millsap goes to the Sixers
Yeah.
along with Harden. Which team do you think will be better off in the long run?
I think the Sixers will be. I mean, when you say long run, I mean like as in this
Like,
season.
well, yeah, down the stretch of the season into the
Because
playoffs. There we go.
he is a rental, but then he also opted in. But then there was like some weird thing that happened with him trying to opt in.
No, I thought he opted in for sure.
Well, he did, but I don't know. There was something I heard about it. I don't know what exactly happened, but I do think the Nets are a team that is potentially more scary, but they're just dysfunctional. There's no other way to put it. KD's injured. Kyrie won't get vaccinated, and Ben Simmons still hasn't played with him yet. And it looks like he's going to. He's showing up to games. He's supporting the team, which is a good sign. But there's just so many underlying factors with this team that have to align in order for them to have success, and they haven't proven it in the past. I don't see them doing that this year. I definitely think that the potential is there the same way it's been before, but I think that the Sixers are a more surefire thing. They've got a good roster. They didn't give up Maxey, which was a key guy they wanted to be able to keep. They have Tobias Harris. They bring in Harden. They have Embiid, top 2 big in the league. discussion for MVP. I think he's the favorite as of right now in a lot of people's eyes. So I think that is.
Why are you booing?
Yeah, what's
I love Joel, but I want DeMar to win it.
maybe he's having a
Duh!
great year.
Oh, don't even.
You guys know I love Joel Embiid being the KD fan I am. But I want DeMar to win the MVP so bad.
Why? What do you have?
See, I could like that.
Like, I mean,
'cause,
DeMar's
with
cool.
USC, but
Yeah, okay. See, reasoning. I guess Ryan's also a USC fan.
I am not. I would not call myself a fan.
Ryan.
I would not call myself a USC fan. I'll say a supporter.
Yeah, Ryan and
Sure.
his like 5 college allegiances.
No, I have 2.
Listen, he only has 2 professional ones, so you gotta give him the call.
Right. I will give him that. That is true.
You know, I'm sorry, my city does not have a hockey team or an NBA team.
Well, that's just
Hopefully, one of
because
those
Kansas City
comes-
fans are the most overrated fans in sports.
What do you see going to Kansas City first?
Yeah.
I would have an NBA team.
Yeah, it's
I think
absolutely
he's
NBA. Especially because it's 30 NBA teams and 32 NHL. Obviously, that
Well,
would
yeah, there's gonna be no more expansion in NBA or
You mean
or
NHL?
NHL or NFL.
there
so.
won't be. But I mean, depending on
I-
how the
I
Coyotes
really-
situation goes, it could be getting shipped somewhere. As we say.
I think they'll end up
They're
in
gonna
Houston
be
if they leave.
They're gonna be with ASU with their multi-purpose arena, but once that
I don't know how that's gonna work.
once that's over, I don't know.
Yeah, Coyotes are out of it.
There's better locations in Kansas City for hockey anyway, so I do agree that NBA would make more sense logistically. It would be more like
The Sprint Center. Well, sorry, it's not Sprint Center anymore because Sprint is no longer the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City.
Wait, Sprint's
Missouri.
gone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
T-Mobile
when's
bought
the
them
last
out.
time you've seen the Sprint commercials with that white dude who left the like T-Mobile commercial?
Oh my god. I hadn't even thought about it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I left T-Mobile
Honestly,
because
I
they get
forgot.
50%
No,
off,
you're
and then
not
they
alone on
that
went
one.
out of business.
T-Mobile bought out Sprint.
There's no more Sprint?
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
Yeah, no, isn't that crazy? Yeah, because he was the Verizon guy, and then he was a snake, and then he like left and was like back.
Oh, it was Verizon. My bad. I
Yeah.
said AT&T.
Wow.
Mhm.
That makes more sense why it was 50% cheaper than okay.
I'm absolutely jarred.
Yeah, so it's not T-Mobile Center. Right there, NBA Arena. It's not hard to just want it. I know a lot of the issues is I like having the open calendar for like events, like concerts and such,
Mhm.
but get an NBA team. Why not? The Kings were in Kansas City, and then they left for Sacramento.
And they are pathetic.
So get an NBA team in Kansas City. That's all I have to say. That segues to the second trade I want to talk about. But I just want to hear Parker go off.
Dude.
I want to hear Parker go off.
Like I was
Well,
like
first,
somebody.
let's introduce the trade.
Yeah, go. for it.
So the Kings traded away future star, in my opinion, Tyrese Halliburton, to the Pacers for DeMontis Sabonis.
Your opinion sucks.
You know what, Dom? You're
He's gonna-
useless.
He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry.
The only thing you're
You can do
useful
this.
for is working the board.
I can't wait until like Ryan has a platform and like some like 13-year-old kid is like, you're useless. And he's like, hey kid, go pound sand or something like that. Like Ryan starts eviscerating kids on Twitter.
I saw a hilarious tweet today. It was like Daniel the Bo Bichette stan. And it said face reveal. And this kid was wearing a Blue Jays jersey. And this kid was no more than 8 years old.
Yeah.
Has a Twitter following of like 2,000 people.
Damn.
And then a classic like Padres troll retweeted it and said, "There's no way I can be bullying any of these kids. They're all 8-year-olds." It was
Yeah.
hilarious. And I can just imagine that being Ryan. And
I would, no, I have a brain.
Kid.
No,
I
unintentionally.
have
No, unintentionally. I don't think you'd intentionally go for a 13-year-old kid, but
No,
we'll not go for a 13-year-old kid. No, hold on.
Come on.
Let me back up. I don't think you'd intentionally attack a 13-year-old kid on the internet.
Kick rocks, kid.
Kick rocks, kid. I don't think you'd intentionally do that.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't have said go for a 13-year-old kid. Okay, that's move
out of
past
context,
that.
that sounds horrible.
It does. Watch, that's gonna be in our new promo. Our new promo.
No, I already submitted our program. We're good.
Perfect. So, Parker, go off on this.
Yeah.
I need to hear this.
So like, yeah, I mean, look, I am a person that, you know, I picked the A's as my baseball team. I messed up there. It was between them and the Giants as a kid, and you know that scene from Interstellar. I've never actually seen the movie, but it's like a funny meme where Matthew McConaughey's like, no, like you can like see himself. It's like that, like me, like as a little kid, like starting to follow the A's. But no, like I was good on the basketball side at least, because had I been a Kings fan, that's the kind of trades that would just make me want to rip my hair out because the Kings are such an incompetent organization that just they draft so poorly, but they've had a couple of picks. De'Aaron Fox has been a lukewarm pick. He's not great, he's not bad, decent pick when they got him out of Kentucky, and then they get Halliburton. That was such a good pick. I love that pick for them. He had fallen to them at 11. Tons of teams that could have taken him 10 spots ahead. They didn't. They got themselves a good one, and he's a guy this year who's shooting, I believe. By the time they traded him, I think like 42% from three or north of that. He's averaging 7 assists per game, plays good defense. He's a lengthy guard, and he's just a really good player. He's a playmaker, and those are hard to find. There's not that many really good playmakers that can shoot. So he's a guy that only 21 years old. He's on his rookie contract for a couple more years, and you decide to package him with Buddy Hield so he gets the bonus. I saw those rumors, and I just didn't understand it because, yeah, the Kings are fighting for a play-in game. They are technically able to go and get themselves in the play-in game, but that's just such a weird little in-between spot to be fighting for. Why are you trying to get to the play-in game? What's going to happen if you win that game? You get blown out by the Sons of the Warriors as an 8 seed? I just don't see the vision with the Kings, They have this young core where they got a lot of talented guards. They have him. They have Fox. Fox is having a down year. They got Davion Mitchell. It's like, okay, you got some good pieces. You can work with these guys. You can see what you can build with them. You even got Rashawn Holmes, who's a solid young big. It looks like there can be a future with this team. I've been thinking it for years, and every year they disappoint. And then this was just icing on top of the cake. I couldn't believe it. Sabonis is a great player. He's 25. He's very young. He's really good. Big Sabonis guy. Great guy, Gonzaga. His game's translated extremely well to the NBA. I just don't see it. I just don't understand getting rid of Halliburton. I think it's a mistake. I think that anything get rid of Fox. He's having a down year. He's proving that he's not really a guy that can shoot from three. He's not reliable. And you can't be a point guard in this league nowadays. You can't do that. So I'm sure maybe they tried to package that and people were interested, which they shouldn't be. And it results in Halliburton. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I hadn't seen a franchise get so relentlessly roasted for trading someone since the Rockies traded Nolan Arenado, and that's how you know they messed up. I mean, hindsight could be 20/20. So, but like you mentioned, Sabonis is really good, but Tyrese Halliburton had been balling. When you ball on a just horrible Iowa State team, you know that you're good. So, and also, Ryan, did you go on your own YouTube video and comment Dom pathetic in the YouTube chat?
No, I can post a comment on StreamYard.
Oh, that's something you with the power to. So why would you
Yes.
comment on your own video? That's
Because I'm responding to your brother who said, "Bouncing the ball into your face is pathetic."
Yeah, okay.
So I was replying to your brother by saying, "Tom is pathetic,"
Thanks.
which you are.
Cool.
Boomeristic.
So
I'm
I
about
don't
to
see
end
I don't
this
see the
man's
issue.
whole career.
I don't see what the issue with this is.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny that you commented on your own YouTube video that
I'm going to respond to people. Like,
He's an active host.
yeah, I'm not going to be a jerk and just leave them hanging over there.
Okay, all right.
Gosh, who do you think I am? Actually, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I have a 6-letter word I could say.
Coward?
Yes.
Is that it?
Fair breaks the glass.
This is why I'm so good at Wordle.
Wordle.
What is
Bro,
coward?
Ryan neglected to open the door for Parker, Jack, and I this morning, and I just called him.
I don't hear you say that, but I'm glad I did it.
And then no, because you turned around and you said, "Jack, you just called me a coward," and I'm like, "No, I didn't." You stared at me, and I'm like, "Hold the door open for me."
Why would I ever hold the door open for you?
That's true.
What have you ever done for me?
I drive you all the time.
And I give you hugs for that.
Yes.
And
Oh
thank
wow.
you. Hey, that's more than Lowe's does.
Yeah. Oh, I
Which is nothing.
He does absolutely nothing.
He complains about how long the walk is from the free parking. And then yes, you 100% do.
Lowe's
Open the door. He thanked me
That's
this
worse
morning.
back.
Thank you. He did thank me this morning after you complained about the walk 2 times, but he did thank me.
Oh, look, your girlfriend's coming to your aid here, telling.
He was texting her, please go yell at him, please. Please go text him.
No, because contrary to what the comments say, I'm
YouTube
not
channel,
pathetic.
she put on there, I disagree.
She comes to my defense on her own will, and that's
Yeah,
why
because you
she's
can't defend
pathetic.
yourself.
That's not true.
Oh, wait. I have a totally unrelated, like not related to sports story.
Oh, here we go.
I figure we have time to tell, so I'll tell it.
Yeah.
We all know and love Brixton, right?
Oh,
So
for context, Brixton is Patrick's younger cousin.
yes, my 4-year-old cousin. So I get a text today. And Brixton is 4, so he really hasn't learned how to read yet. You know, he's just this is like where they're really getting into that in school. He's in preschool. I get a text message today from this random number. And it says, "Cousin Pat, this is Brixton." And I said, "Holy SHIT." I was
I
like,
forgot saying
Yeah.
the illegal word.
since when did Brixton learn how to text? First of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, where did he get a phone? And then I realized it was an automated message. And it says, "I am participating in a reading project. Here's what I'm working on," right? And it's this readathon thing. It's a national thing where it's supposed to help kids learn how to read. Okay. Now, I donated to him. And I sent them a nice message and it said, "Keep getting better at reading every day, buddy. I love you and I'm proud of you, cousin Pat." And then they read them in class or whatever. And then everybody who donates, they get to read their message and et cetera, et cetera. And then there's like a reading goal of how many minutes Brixton has to read, and it'll take that off the thing every time. So there's 500 minutes right now, and they'll lower that every day that he reads. Okay. So right now, Brixton has done nothing. Okay. 0 minutes read, 0 books read. Okay. And I'm the only donor, and I donated way more than I think I had to.
How much did you donate?
I gave because I figured, it's a fundraiser thing, it's a one-time donation.
You're being
Oh,
a good
no.
cousin.
Yeah, and I'm a good cousin. I gave him $50.
Oh, no.
Okay. I didn't realize it was only $100 goal.
God.
Now they're looking for 25 donors, which means every other person who donates from here on out only has to donate $2 to reach this goal.
You cut that donation requirement
So-
to reach the goal.
My aunt calls me and she goes, "Wow." She was like, "Thank you." And I was like, I was like, "I donated." And she's like, "Yeah, you might be like the only donor, but we're already halfway there."
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Mr. Deeds?
Yeah.
It's where he inherits all of his uncle's money. It's like $41 billion, and he's just like, "Oh, donate to some random charity." And then
Yeah.
the dude that runs the charity sees it and like passes out.
Yeah, exactly. So Brixton calls me, he's like, "Thank you." I was like, "You don't know how much money I just gave you, kid." So I was a generous donator, especially the weekend before I'm going to Las Vegas. So
my gosh.
good guy, Pat.
Gut-wrenching.
What a great cousin you are, Pat. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Only you don't get bullied by your 4-year-old.
Yeah, he's so mean to me, but we'll call it even, I guess, because he's 4.
You could absolutely drop him if you wanted to.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I really wanted to, I could take this out. One ACL, one ACL before an ACL.
Jeez, dude.
ACL don't matter. Pat and 4.
Pat and foe.
Pat and foe.
Speaking of which, Lakers and foe. LeBron James and NBA Finals MVP. Ain't that right, Parker?
That would be hilarious.
Parker's like, no chance.
No shot.
All right, let's get back to the NBA.
Doubting the
All-Star
greatest
game
player.
happened last night.
Yes,
Let's
it did.
each give one takeaway from it. I know Dom will struggle because he didn't watch it, but Parker.
Yeah, well, my takeaway is I didn't watch it because it doesn't matter.
My takeaway was it was good, significantly better than the Pro Bowl.
the Pro Bowl
which
is a joke.
they set the bar very low with the Pro Bowl, but like still, it was better. It's entertaining, and look, yeah, there's no defense played until like the whole get to 24 points or whatever.
Yep.
But there's a reason for that. It's the All-Star game. These guys are just messing around. They're having fun. It's like a pickup game, and they're just trying to showcase stuff. Like Steph's shooting like half courts and turning around before it's halfway to the hoop. Like John Morant's throwing alley-oop 360 dunks. Like it's just supposed to be fun, supposed to be entertaining. And the hot take, or not even a hot take, but like the dunks that were thrown just that were so much better than the dunk contest. I'm glad my boy KTA represented Golden State, but it was a disappointing dunk contest. And I think that there's room for it to be significantly better. But I also think that 2016 was just so unbelievable. I mean, I'll never forget watching that live. I was standing the entire time. It was so unbelievable. Like it's just the expectations, the bar is set so unbelievably high for these guys to do some insane dunks, and there's only a couple guys like Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon that are capable of those. I think people just have to come to that realization and accept that. And yeah, it's not ideal, but there's only select guys that can. John Morant could, Donovan Mitchell, who's been in it, could probably do some cool stuff, but these guys just don't want to do it at the end of the day, and money's not a big enough incentive, so you kind of just have to accept this. And look, the dunk contest in its origins back when, we saw guys come up on the scene back in the day, 70s and 80s. The whole idea was you get rookies, you get young guys, and they perform in front of these fans the All-Star weekend, and that's how they build their profiles and they make a name for themselves. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just if the dunks don't land, they don't land.
Pat, do you have any takeaways?
Yeah, I only saw the last few rounds, and it was one of the more underwhelming dunk contests I've ever sat in. I'd say.
Yeah.
No, it was so bad. There's no sugarcoating it. It was horrible.
So my takeaway is that you somehow have to get Ja in the dunk contest,
You're not going to.
which sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
I would love to see a dunk contest with Ja, Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, and who else are we thinking? Well, I'll just throw in Donovan Mitchell for this one.
Not sure. I need some other guys.
But come on, that would be electric, and that's what
Taco Fall.
every fan wants. The dunk contest is one of the things that highlights All-Star Weekend. It's what people would consider the best event,
Mhm.
and it's just gone way down since 2016.
Yeah,
Like you said,
and the best one was
revive
honestly
it, please.
the skills competition was really fun. I thought it was cool because the NBA is always looking to change things. They want to make it unique, like with the rules for the actual All-Star game itself. Like those changed last year, and they've been awesome. But the skills competition was phenomenal. It was cool because it was in Cleveland, and Cleveland's a young upcoming team. So they had Mobley, they had Jarrett Allen, and then they had Darius Garland performing as a trio. They had the Antetokounmpo brothers as a trio, and then they had the rookies with Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey, and was it Jalen Green? I can't think.
Oh, I can't remember.
I know he's in the dunk contest. It was horrible, but either way, you get the point though. It was really cool how they broke up the groups. It was really entertaining. It was like a cool little point system they had, but I do think it's nice that they're constantly adapting. They're trying to change stuff so that people can be like, "Well, this is really cool. I like this. Hopefully, they do it again next year." So, props to the NBA. They're the most on their feet when it comes to finding new stuff that people like.
But Don today raised a very good point about how the home run derby is better.
It's not even close. Infinitely better.
The home run derby is the best.
And I mean, I think the dunk contest is awesome.
It
There's
is.
no denying it. It's really cool. However, about 75% of the dunk contest, you're watching them walk around and preparing and whatnot. It is so slow. And these guys, they don't always do the dunks. Granted, that's because the dunks they're doing are super hard because they're trying to go for the high scores.
Yes.
During the home run derby, and they changed the format because the old home run derby, I've been in an old one and I've been at a new one. I've been at two new ones.
Subtle flex from Dominic.
Sure. But the old one was slow, much like the dunk contest. A lot of downtime and just a huge time commitment. But with the new format, it's just home run, 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 home
Enough.
I was hoping you'd stop me.
I was never going to
Yeah.
stop you. I was going to see how long you went.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just taters, and it's come to the point where it's so much better than it.
Well, I think that if we're gonna compare events, I think 3-point contest is more comparable because the pace and the concept of hitting a three, hitting a home run, hitting a three, hitting a home run. It's like I feel like the dunk contest is so different. It can't really be compared because it's been really bad the last couple of years.
Sure.
There's no sugarcoating it, but I feel like that's not really a good comparison for like the events. I think 3-point contest would make more sense, and I would agree that if we're comparing those, I like the home run derby more.
The
But
home
I
run
do
derby.
think that makes more sense.
The home run derby runs laps at this point with its current format around all other competitions. And that's not to say they aren't fun. They are fun. Like those, I would rather watch all the skills competitions than these All-Star games because the All-Star game doesn't matter. They have no incentive to go out there and actually play. Now the NBA, NHL, yeah, the NBA, NHL, and MLB All-Star games are light years ahead of the Pro Bowl. The
Yeah,
Pro Bowl,
The NHL All-Star game kind of blows that.
It's okay. I don't like the format with the tournaments.
Yeah.
I do agree, and that's something they changed recently to try and be like the NBA and be intuitive. And they did have some good additions for the one in Vegas this year. They did, but yeah, no, I agree. I agree that it's not quite as good with that. But the Pro Bowl just doesn't feel fixable because it happens.
The Pro Bowl's a
It
mess.
happens.
Give up on it.
It's the little in between the championship games and then the Super Bowl. There's no fixing it. These guys aren't going to go out and tackle. I don't blame them. Like why would we want to get injured?
right? No, I mean it makes sense.
It's just I don't think there's a way to fix it. You can't really do it mid-season because again, guys aren't going to want to tackle because you don't want to get hurt. So it's a sport that just doesn't work for that.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it works just because of the timing of it. I agree with you on that, Parker. But Dom, so you've been to both styles of home run derby.
Yeah.
I'm changing the topic over to baseball. Which one did you go to when it was the old format? 'Cause I know you went to the home run derby this year in Colorado. Which one
It was
did you go to?
2011 in Chase Field, Robinson Cano.
Oh God, I hate that man.
He beat Adrian Gonzalez, who at that point was my favorite player in baseball. So that was really
Sorry,
thanks.
but I don't feel that. I think it's kind of funny. All right, Pat.
Yeah.
Just looked on your story. You have a short film.
I do.
First off, I just like to put out that I'm offended that you didn't ask any of us to review it.
I'll just put it on my story. So, you guys can say that you can review it. Whoa!
I turned that one down. I wasn't making this mistake.
So yeah, I'm currently working on producing a short film. It will be the first short film that I've actually produced entirely myself.
Wow.
Yeah, it is called Process of Elimination. It is a romantic comedy style short film. I finished the script today, I submitted it. I got greenlit, and I want to start producing it.
That's dope.
So
I want to be in this.
I have you on the but I have to hire actors. Like
Really?
ASU actors database. Yeah.
Yo.
Well, because
Yo,
that
if
was
you need a
Pat's
camera
big time
operator, let me
commitment
know.
last year was that he had he'd like be an actor.
Yeah.
And that film that he said was just awful.
or something.
Right.
If you need a camera operator, I got you.
I can make you guys extras for sure.
Yeah.
No, I want to work with my friends. I do, but I can't do. Like, I have to hire all people, and like other people get like credit per class for working on my film.
Yeah. No, you want to be as good as possible.
Yeah.
None of us
Right.
are actors.
None of us are
I would love
like
to have
that.
that.
Ryan, I can't think of a better thing for you than another thing on your
Maybe
plate.
this time.
You know what, Tom? I don't need you.
Dom just feels real confident behind that glass.
Tom, if you're gonna really
I mean, I miss
say
ride
that
home.
with
So
a barrier between us,
I'm your ride home. Like I'm your ride
I'll
home.
go with that.
And
I guess you can go with that, but
the short
Yeah,
film
like,
about
are you
the
trying to
Great.
start something here? I know I have a lot going on, but do I manage to get it all done? Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn straight. So, anyways,
Like
my
I
short
said,
film,
I'll
I'm
sleep
really
on
excited about it. It's only going to be 6 minutes long when all is said and done.
Okay.
6 minutes long
That's a lot
at
of
the
work.
most. It might be
That's a
5.
ton of work.
That is a lot of work. That will be about 5 shooting days and about 30 hours of shooting, maybe more.
It's crazy what goes into that. stuff.
It really is, and I have to follow like every code of ethics. I have to get permits to film everywhere. I have to get permits to like my actors. There's a kiss at the end, and I have to get a permit signed by like a board of ethics that my kiss is ethical on set.
What?
Does that mean like as far as like?
they consent to it.
Yeah.
Well, I figured it was something with that, but I was like, no.
So, like for example, I have a lot of locations in mind, which is the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I have 5 total locations, I think, and so I have to go to where like one scene I plan on using an apartment that just somebody in Tempe lives in. I don't think I would use like where we live because it's too bright. It's very white and
Yeah.
Right.
The exposure's too much.
right. I want to use a place like a light or something.
Okay.
That's dark and not as nice as Park is.
No, I'd want to use like a light or something, but like I'd have to get a permit from the Alight building manager, the people who live in that unit, blah 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 blah.
Oh wow.
Then I have to use another apartment where I'd have to do another one. I have to get a permit from them. I'm filming at a park in one scene. I have to get a permit from the city of Tempe for that. I'm using a restaurant and an ice cream shop. In other scenes, I have to get permits from the restaurant and ice cream shop that I use,
Jeez.
and then the city of Tempe who owns the building.
Dang.
So
That's brutal,
This
dude.
is so
it's a
cool.
lot of permit work. It's a lot of production binder work. Production binders are going to be the death of me. For those of you who are interested in the world of film, Google a production binder and you will no longer be interested in the world of film. It is just the hell that is filmmaking.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for what goes into like TV shows and movies.
Every episode.
You know
Oh,
what,
I
Tom?
know, like a 20 episode season of something that's right around 22 minutes an episode. Like that's oh my god, the amount of man hours, the amount of people it takes to coordinate everything, like going and doing stuff on like a different location offset. I have a lot of respect. It's tough.
You know,
can't
Pat, I think I
imagine.
have a newfound respect for you.
Yeah?
Maybe a little bit.
Nice. I'll take it.
Yeah, no.
Why is that?
Because you're not just sitting around like a bum playing video games on your PC. You now have work to do, and you're working hard and actually care.
Oh, I've always had work to do. I just kind of sat around like a bum and didn't do
But
it.
you see now, you actually care.
Yeah, no, the thing is, a lot of it is very project based what I do in my major. So I always put it off to the last minute, and then
That's not a good idea.
well, no, it's not. But
What kind of equipment do they give you guys? Like what kind of camera?
I film with a Blackmagic 4K pocket camera, so I can shoot my film in 4K.
Nice and crispy. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've got I can edit on they have like the Mac 3000 desktop computers that I can edit on.
Nice.
I get access to all different sorts of like key lights, fill lights, free boom mics. I'm gonna be stacked. I'm gonna be stacked. But you have to reserve that equipment like a month and a half in advance if you want to be able to use it. So I really have to
So
get to
let me
work
guess,
on
is this
that.
something that you have to turn in at the end of the year?
Yeah, so this is my final project for my FMP 300 short film production class, which I kind of have like the Bible for in here. For those of you watching at home, you can see I have to read this entire book from start to finish.
Dang.
And believe it or not, I actually do read it. I read it in bed a lot.
Nice.
But let's see. Let's try to find something that like is really going to fascinate people.
So how do you know how many characters are going to be in it? Do you have like a number in mind?
2 main characters and then 2 side characters and like a background character, if you will. So like for example, this right here is a sheet that you have to fill out. That's one of like 50 different sheets that you have to fill out on a production binder.
Jeez,
Oh,
Pat.
Pat, did you ever get paid for that short film that you did last year?
I did a whole whopping $150
Yes.
for the 10 to 15 hours a week I put in for like 8 months.
Yeah,
Jeez,
that
Pat.
sucks.
Let's see. What is fascinating about this?
It sucks. Shout out to you.
This is all pretty interesting, actually. Hold on. Let's see. This is all storytelling. This is my major, so I'm interested in this. Let's talk about. There's a whole chapter on just the slates that they use to call action. So that's fascinating. Yeah. Secondary characters, that's interesting. Sound reports. I have to put one of these in my production binder.
This
Where
sounds
it's-
horrible.
It is every sound that comes out of the film.
This sounds horrible.
Really? That is nuts.
Yeah, it's all pretty nutty.
Well, because I've seen, and it's another thing that makes me like respect, like, movies or TV shows or anything like that is the people that like make sounds like in like these little studios that they use for like movies, for like someone walking on snow or something.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what those people do.
That's,
and like I guess that's the kind of sound you'd have to report.
This is my budget sheet that I'm gonna have to fill out for my film. I have to budget I get up to $500, I think.
Nice.
Um,
Is that going to like paying actors just for like getting like
yeah.
or not really getting permits, but like I guess for anything else in between.
And there's another budget sheet that I have to do on my production binder. It's all paperwork and just
That
BS.
sounds horrible, but I do
Sounds
find that stuff
terrible.
interesting though.
But then the product is gonna be so rewarding. Like that's what I have to keep telling myself. Like it's gonna be so cool when it's done and I can show people. But
Yeah.
overall, that's the world of film production on our sports talk show.
I feel that
Hey.
when I was in broadcasting class, we had to do like this little film thing that we do at the end of the semester where we have to like make one for our film festival. Me and 2 of my friends made one. It was like, or 3 of my friends. It was like 6.5 minutes, and it was really fun. It was stupid because like we don't know what we're doing. We're just
Right.
messing around, but like it was really fun though.
Let's see, real quick. So we have this folder for my class, where we all have to put our stuff in it because we're doing a 1-minute short film next class. Okay.
Okay.
So we are sitting down. We are filming a 1-minute short film.
Keep in mind, this class is like 4 hours long.
Right. This is like a 4.5 hour long class. And then I have another 3-hour long class right after it. But then I can turn around and say I have a 5-day weekend. So let's see. He sent us. Nobody else is going to be able to see this except for you guys. But this is for a 1-minute short film that we are making tomorrow. This is all for that one film.
Wow.
It's a minimum.
Fantastic.
Does everybody have a different role?
Fantastic
Or
radio.
is it kind of just like everybody just doing like whatever they can do?
So this is what I'm going to have to all do myself when I make my own short film.
Okay.
But this is everybody did one thing.
Okay.
And I still have to do mine. It's called a production script or a shooting script, if you will, which is just you have to totally rip the script apart line by line and find what you need for every single line. Yeah. Yep.
I find that stuff really interesting. I just, oh God, I can't even imagine doing all that. That's I complain about the stuff I have to do for the bureau, and it's a lot of work that goes into filming stuff and editing.
There's a lot of work that goes into everything we do. But I'm so sick. I am so
Here we
sick
go.
of people saying, like, I get so much poop from my friends, like, back home, because a lot of them are like astro engineers and
Astrophysicists.
yeah, exactly.
Really, really smart people.
And I'm like, what I'm doing is hard. Like, it's not,
no, I know what you're saying. It's like with journalism. It's not like going to Harvard and passing the bar exam, but
it's hard.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. You gotta work hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta work hard.
It's a tough field.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I see what you're saying.
All right, before we go, let's get into one more sports topic ended on what
No,
our
last.
show's supposed to be about. Who do we think's taking the 1 seed in each conference?
Suns.
So much.
It's looking like the Suns. The CP3 injury kind of opens the window a little bit,
But do you think that's going to mean a 6.5 game?
it would take Steph shooting very similar to how he did in the All-Star game. Which I do. I had a tweet, and it's the All-Star game again. There's no defense being played, so you can't freak out and be like, oh, this means he's going to be incredible. But the mentality that comes out of having a day like that, I think is going to be really big for Steph. So I think he is going to have a good second half, and it's going to come down to the wire. I know that for sure, because losing CP3 is big. That's 6 to 8 weeks, and that's just to reevaluate him. So
Yeah.
I do think on a side note, I mentioned it before, that injury could be a blessing in disguise should he be able to get some rest going into the postseason, because the big thing with him, gets to the playoffs after playing 80, 82 games, gets hurt. So this could do a lot of good
Just
things.
the other players getting more playing time too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of campaign coming in and starting. So
Yeah, he's
it'll
going
be
to
good
have
to
to
see.
play really well.
Yeah.
He's going to have to step up a little bit.
I think you'll see a lot of Mikal Bridges as well stepping up. He's been playing really well since right before the All-Star break. He was playing really well, so I think that definitely has an impact as well. But Eastern Conference, who do you think's taking it?
Miami.
The Boston Celtics, baby. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
I'm going.
Probably Miami.
They lost at home to the Detroit Pistons right before. the
Right after they won 9 games straight.
I'm going with Miami as well. That team has. They're really deep.
They are very deep.
They're a
That's why I
very
like
deep
them.
team. Their coaching is one of the best. They have one of the best coaches in the NBA, and Jimmy Butler is that guy.
Yeah.
He is really involved in his game. So I think the Heat are going to come in with the 1 seed there.
Heat Warriors final. Okay.
Take us out of here, Ryan.
All right, that's going to do it for this Monday night edition of the 4-3 Show. We'll be back next week, and somehow maybe Pat will have it for an ACL. Have a good one, everyone.